What's up, friends? Paul here. Today we're going to be going through 3 quick tips to get more deep work done and stay focused on a task that you need to get accomplished. In this age of distraction where you constantly are bombarded by text messages and other distractions, the importance of deep work and the value of that deep work skyrockets. So deep work, simply stated, is like basically your ability to focus on like a task and kind of drown out distractions. So you become absorbed in that task. So that's deep work in a nutshell. So let's dive into the 3 tips to get deep work done. Tip number 1, focus on your top priority. So if you haven't done this yet, take an inventory of all the things that you need to do. And I would recommend doing this on a micro and macro level. What do I mean by micro and macro? Basically, if you have a macro goal, let's say you want to become a genius in neuroscience, then I would recommend going and looking at all the things that you need to do to get that task done. And then look at it in a micro level. See what can I do this week to get closer to that goal of becoming a genius in neuroscience. So that's my recommendation, is look at all the things that you need to do on a macro and micro level to reach your top priority. And as a priority, you should only have really one main thing. I mean, granted, I would recommend maybe having one top priority in different parts of your life. For example, you might have an intellectual goal of becoming a master in a certain topic, or you might want to get physically fit, so you'd make a goal in that area as well. Okay, so here's a quick exercise to gain clarity on your top priorities. So I would suggest writing out 10 to 15 goals that you want to accomplish in the coming year or 2, or maybe you're looking long-term, maybe 5 to 10 years, whatever it is, write out those goals. And then what I'd recommend is writing out an action plan. So list out maybe 20 items that you can work on a regular basis to get closer to your goal. Maybe that's researching a topic, or maybe it's reading a book daily so you get closer to your goal. Whatever it is, write out those action items so that you can get closer to your goal. The beauty of breaking it up like this is that it's very actionable and you can see the progress that you make towards that big goal. I would focus on just becoming a little bit better each day, that 1% better, and then before you know it, you'll start becoming a better master in that area. So choose your goal and then list out those 20 items and then get to work. Okay, so tip number 2, free yourself from distractions. Don't let the distractions get in the way of that important task. If you need to, block out your calendar, set aside a block of time, maybe 2-3 hours, whatever it is you need to do to set aside that time to accomplish that important task, because that is your top priority. So you want to set aside a good chunk of time for it. And then also clear your environment of distractions. So if you've got your phone out while you're trying to do your top priority, if it's not important to it, set it on do not disturb mode, set it in another room, don't have it there as a distraction. Another tip would be clearing your desk, because a mess can be distracting, especially if it's chaos. Just clear it away. If you can, turn the internet off your computer. If it is a distraction, try turning it off, or turning off notifications, turn your computer into do not disturb mode so that you can seriously focus on whatever task is at hand. Or maybe you don't even need a computer, so set it aside completely. Put it in another room like your phone so that you can focus completely on your task and get deep work done without distractions. Okay, so tip number 3 is just roll with the punches. Honestly, as a perfectionist, imperfection has been such a gift, is to learn how to do things imperfectly. So as G.K. Chesterton once said, if a thing's worth doing, it's worth doing badly. If you're struggling to get that perfect environment, don't worry about it. It's gonna be messy. Life isn't perfect. So just work on getting that stuff done and you'll get better at it as you go. But don't stress over making a perfect environment, because life is imperfect. So just roll with the punches. Also, if you notice as you go along that the project that you chose or the goal that you chose isn't aligning with what you want to do now, adjust. So if you realize you're half the way up a wall, it doesn't make sense to climb all the way to the top and then realize looking down that you're on the wrong wall. So as you go, make adjustments. However, I do recommend just getting started. Don't let perfection get in the way of getting a good thing done just do it. If you want to learn more about deep work or staying focused, I highly recommend Cal Newport's books on digital minimalism and then also his book on deep work. They are great, so check those out. Links are in the description. If you found this information valuable, please smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know if there's a topic that you want me to cover next time, so drop that in the comments below. Until next time, stay focused.